Hi, my name is Danny Hudson. My project was a web-based user management site. Right now, the site can only create users. However, down the road, it would be fairly straightforward to add other functions, such as changing group membership and removing users. When we navigate to the home page, there is a login. This was one of the most challenging parts that I created. This login allows for assigning different permission levels so that supervisors can request new users, but they cannot actually create the users or upload CSV files. In the future, I would like to integrate the login with Active Directory so that users do not need to remember as many passwords. Let's take a look at the login in action right now. There are only two logins, sysadmin and supervisor. As you can see, when we log in with the supervisor account, we are only able to see three tabs: Home, Logout, and New User Request. If we click on the New User Request tab, we can also see that we can only create one user at a time. However, if we sign in with sysadmin, we can now see home, logout, new user request, and requested user. If we click on new user request, we can also see an area to upload new users with a CSV file. Here is how I was able to limit what the supervisor account was able to see. I stored the user's permission level in the session. Their permission level can be one of three things: null, meaning they are not allowed to log in, so they have not had a permission level assigned. 1, they are a base user and can only request new users. 2 and 3 2 and 3 currently have the same full permission to the site. However, in the future, 3 would be the site admin, having the ability to change what level of access users had when they logged into the site. Next, uh, I will talk about how users are requested. I will go ahead and enter the information and click submit. It takes us to the requested users page, in which case we can see, unless we didn't have permission, if we were signed in as as the supervisor, we would get a page that just said your user request has been submitted successfully. I'll show you how the new user requests are processed. Descriptions. This is the form that I filled out, and when I click the submit button, it takes us to the database selection um, section. And there's a series of if statements in here that determine what class and what function need to be called. For the user request, this function is called, which takes us to the subscriptions class, and the upload subs function. This section right here pulls the information from the form fields that I filled out and puts them into variables, which are then uploaded into the database here. Then, so that we can see what's going on, the information is pushed to the requested users page by this function right here. There is also an ability to upload a CSV file. This allows us to create many users all at one time, as you can see here. The function that handles that is the CSV upload. It functions much the same as the standard just single user upload, except there's a while loop that pulls that information that's in the form from the CSV file and inserts it into the directory one line at a time. Now, for instance, let's say that we made a mistake and we didn't need test user 1 and 2, or we'd spelled something wrong, or they were in some other way incorrect. We can go down to the bottom of this page and we have a user removal tool, a tool to remove users from the queue to be created. Um, so we'll just go ahead and remove test user. Let me make sure that's there. Yeah, that's correct. And as you can see, test user is removed. We'll now remove test user 2. The function that carries that out is right here. It works much the same way as the function to insert a single user, except the query for the database is a little bit different and tells it to delete the row instead of to add something into to instead of insert something into it. Now that we've gone through and eliminated the users that we didn't need, we need to actually create the users. To do this, you just click the Create Users button. And it'll take a little bit of time, but then it'll also remove all the users that were in the database um, after it finishes the creation process. This was a section that I had a lot of problems with because it was really hard for me to get the PowerShell script to open up. It's actually something I wasn't able to resolve. However, the other area that I had issues with was I didn't have a domain controller um, available that I could test with. So I wasn't actually able to test whether my script worked 100% or not. I was able to test to make sure that it could make connections with the database, so everything should function, I just wasn't able to test it. Um, right here is the function that executes those commands. It's very similar. This one, instead of selecting a single line to delete from, it just deletes the entire table. Um, some of the tools that I used to do this were PHP Storm, which allowed me to manage the database while I was creating the site, and also is a really nice IDE for PHP and HTML. Um, yeah. I believe that is everything. Thank you. Bye.